Hello there everybody, the Hat Person here, and welcome to, I don't know if this is going to be a long or short series. I kind of went into it assuming that it was going to be short, but, yeah, here we go, Toy Story 2, press start. So, for those of you who don't know, and I think, most of you really have no idea, but, this was actually one of the very first games that I, played as a kid. This was my childhood incarnate right here. I think... Yeah, I remember playing this game on PC, actually. I would put on, like, a CD, and I would, go on, like, my Windows 98 computer. The frame rate would be terrible. The game would be, like, super slow. And, yeah, I remember, like, struggling, obviously, with that, but, I still enjoyed it, and I still liked it. And then I actually got a Nintendo 64 cartridge, and I played it on Nintendo 64. That one had a much better frame rate, and the controls were better, and everything. And so I played it, and I think I never beat it. I think I saw like the ending and everything like on YouTube or something. I can't remember, but I definitely I do remember struggling in beating the game. I don't think it was like an easy task. Especially not for me, where back in the day I was just a little child, right? But now, there was a PlayStation Network sale, basically, where they were selling this game and another PlayStation 1 game specifically. It's a weird combo of PlayStation games that got in a sale, and so I found this game for $1.50. And so I'm like, that's a steal. You might as well be giving the game away for free. And so I got it. I bought the game for $1.50. I downloaded it, and I have it right here on my PlayStation TV. You can see the icon down there. And so, yeah, as a, trip down memory lane, I think it might be a good plan if I actually play as Buzz Lightyear once more and relive my childhood memories by playing Toy Story 2. I do know that the Toy Story 1 game is, I think, like, particularly famous for being bad. I've never played it, but apparently it's on, like, Super Nintendo. I'm not sure. I've never played that game, and I've seen some very scarce... or scarce, I don't know how you pronounce that word. I think it's scarce. Some scarce footage of that game on Super Nintendo, but yeah, I don't remember much about it, mostly because I never played it. But anyway, I did play the hell out of this game. This is a Toy Story 2, obviously based on the movie. We're gonna start off at Andy's house, naturally. Now, if I do remember correctly, there is some footage from the movie, and you might see a small glimpse of the movie, but I'm gonna do my very best to skip through that, because we are posting this on YouTube, and even if it is like crappy, like grainy, old footage of the movie, and not even the whole thing, the audio isn't even all that good and stuff, I still kind of want to skip it as much as I can, because, YouTube and its copyright stuff, it's still, is very finicky, and I'd rather not deal with it. But anyway, here we go! Like, this is the game. Exactly how I remember it. I actually remember it a lot bigger. When you're a kid, everything is bigger. But, yeah, all of this definitely looks a lot smaller than I remember it. So I did play through this game a little bit when I bought it. I think I gave it maybe like 10 or 15 minutes, for myself to play it so I could get acquainted with the controls. So basically, on a PlayStation TV with a PS3 controller, with the L2 and R2, you can move the camera. With the D-pad, you can actually move around. And I actually tethered the D-pad controls onto my left analog stick, so that's why I can kind of move around like this. But usually, you don't really move with the stick. And so with X, obviously, you can jump. You press it twice, and you can, like, get out your wings and fly around. Square is, there we go. We just brutalized one of Andy's toys. He's gonna come back into his room and be like, where's my blue robot guy? I don't know. So square is your laser. Of course, I don't know how the laser is in any way deadly. If you hold it down, you can charge it up and give like a super yellow blast. If you press circle, whoa, you can spin around. And of course, if you hold down the button and you release, whoa, you just spin around and you can move around like that. And of course, you can do damage, and you get a little dizzy, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker style, before Wind Waker even existed. And then triangle doesn't do anything. So if I press select, nothing happens. If I press start, you get a pause menu, you get a camera mode, passive camera, or active camera. I think I'm gonna go for passive. Volume control, if that's what I want. I can exit the level, or I can just continue. L1, okay, so there we go. So if I press L1, I go into like this targeting mode, and if I do R1, I start to lock onto an enemy. And so I can go ahead and shoot it, and there we go. We do want to get that coin because those coins are valuable for a Pizza Planet token. A Pizza Planet token is basically like the stars in Super Mario 64, you know? It's just like this limited amount of like big MacGuffin reward things that you can get in order to progress and to unlock more levels. So yeah, oh, also another really funny thing is that if you go into targeting, look at Buzz's face. I love it, he's like, like, look at this guy, like, I am gonna hit you, I'm gonna hurt you, what'd you do to Woody? So basically, the storyline for this little game is essentially just following the movie of Toy Story 2, where Al, the big balding dude with the comb over, that, you know, works for, I think, that toy store? Yeah, Al's Toy Barn. He takes away Woody, because apparently Woody is, like, this, like, you know, rare, valuable, collection piece or whatever. And so, Al steals Woody, and so all of the other toys notice what's going on. Oh, look at that, here's a little Buzz Lightyear bed. There we go. We can take a look at the outside. Look at that beautiful, really, really long JPEG image. Or actually, it's the same JPEG image, but it's copy-pasted over and over again. Look at that. You see, is the same 2 trash cans. Oh my god, my phone will not stop ringing. That's horrible. I'll talk about that in a moment. But anyway, I do want to poke fun of this little JPEG or PNG image here. Of just the 2 houses, you know, that the beige house and like the dark red house and the 2 trash cans, and it just keeps overlapping. And there we go. That's the outside world. It's just like a circle of just the same 2 houses and the same 2 trash cans. Oh, also, yeah, so about the phone ringing. I've been having a lot of really bad luck recently with just life happening and just production stuff, because I was trying to live stream the other day with you know, YouTube Gaming. Now that thing is out, there's like a platform for YouTube gamers who want to stream and stuff, and you can do it on YouTube instead of doing it on Twitch. No, this battery gives you life. There are these blocks, by the way, that is essentially Rex giving you some tips, and so it does basically like the whole tutorialness of the whole thing, but you don't really need it because I am here explaining it to you. But, yeah, I've been trying to stream a lot, and, I've been, you know, just recording videos in general, and oh my god, I've gotten so many interruptions. It's almost like I'm in an episode of Mr. Bean, you know? When he's trying to do something, and literally everything in the universe is trying to stop him from doing that thing, you know? And so I'm trying to record a video, and like my phone rings, or like dogs outside are barking, there are children outside that are crying very loudly, you have motorcycles, you have cars, you have trucks that go off, and they do make a lot of noise, and then when I'm streaming, my internet connection dies, because Cox is a piece of shit. But, yeah, it's like, it's so, like, bad luck, you know, and, like, none of it is my fault. And, you know, sometimes people might say, oh, you're a sore loser, or, you know, you might say, like, one of my most hated words in the entire, like, in this whole year, aside from the word dumb, the word salty. Oh, you're salty. You know, like, any negative emotion now counts as salty for some reason. And so people might say that I'm salty because, oh, the things aren't going well for me. But, like, literally, like, nothing's been going well for me. Like, ever since I've been trying to stream something, my internet connection always dies. And you know when that also tends to happen? Never. Only when I'm streaming. Only when I'm trying to do this one specific thing in this specific time of the day, that's when my internet just craps out and decides to not work anymore. And so that got me angry. And then when I'm trying to record, there's a lot of noise, or like the room is really hot. So yeah, not the best time for me to be recording or doing pretty much anything that I like. I'm not allowed to do anything that I like because, yeah, I mean, the universe just doesn't want me to do it. And, yeah, I'll try my best to just ignore all of that. And so yeah, a big example is my phone ringing. My house phone is just ringing for people selling me shit. Nobody knows my phone number, so it's clearly nobody that I know. So yeah. Anyway, we got ourselves a ha 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 ha. Defeat the tin robot to get a token. So who's saying that? Is like the tin robot talking in like first person? You know, defeat the tin robot, which is me. So, you know, if that's not the case, then where the hell is that laughter coming from? Oh, by the way, so this is Toy Story 2, this is an E-rated game, but however, my dialogue and my sort of content is not E-rated. If anything, you could say that is somewhere in between T-rated and M-rated. So, if you have if you are a child, or if you are a parent who is about to show this video to your child, be sure to not show this to any children, because, you know, even though the game itself and the contents of the game are E-rated and meant for children, this particular video series is not. this commentator that is hosting this little series right now is not necessarily a kid-friendly person. I do curse sometimes, and I don't censor my curses unless it's like really funny timing, in which case I do. But yeah, I mean, I talk about some crude topics. I can be very blunt sometimes. So yeah, definitely, like, the game might be kid-friendly, but my dialogue is not. So, if you're a parent and you're thinking of, you know, looking up some footage, or, you know, you're gonna show your child something that's related to Toy Story 2, don't show them this video. Go and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of non-commentary, videos or walkthroughs of this game, because this game is pretty good. I mean, I do like it. It's a solid 3D platformer, and a lot of people do tend to remember this game fondly. So, fondly. There we go. Again, that's another thing. If you don't want your child to grow up to be a stupid idiot like me, be sure to not show them, you know, the audio of me just talking like a moron, just stuttering and mumbling and stumbling upon all my words. Because, you know, sometimes I speak louder and I speak faster than my brain will actually process. So if I want to say something like apologize, you know, I end up saying apologizes. Or, you know, apparently. Anything that has a lot of really hard R's, I almost always never pronounce it correctly, you know? Because I speak really quickly, or I have something else in my mind in addition to the thing that I'm saying currently. So I'm like, you know, okay, so Carter, I'm working on this, you know? Like, I say the R and I kind of just float by it rather than really accentuating it. And that's really frustrating. I hear that in my recordings, and sometimes I realize in a real time as I'm doing this. And so that is mega frustrating, and I understand that it could be very frustrating for the audience as well. But that's really not a thing that I can help, you know? Like, I could train myself to enunciate a little better, but it's really tough for me. And so, yeah, I apologize if I do end up influencing your child to talk like a moron, like I do. Okay, so moving on here. So we've essentially gone through like a bunch of different places in the house. One other thing that we can do now is like we can press X and press circle to do like a stomp. And so that sends us flying. That's probably one of the most powerful chairs in the world. If somebody sits on that and accidentally, like, you know, butt bounces into it, then they're gonna get flown over to the corner of the damn room. It is important that we get all the coins, because there's the pig over there. The pig over there in the sofa, and if you give him 50 coins, you're gonna get a Pizza Planet token, which is essentially, yeah, like a star from Mario, or like a shine from Super Mario Sunshine. You know, just the typical collectible MacGuffins that you get, so that you can progress. I think I already said that at the beginning, but it's always good to reiterate sometimes. These batteries give you life. Those are essentially your life points, because you are a toy, not a spaceman. And so, oh, there we go. Oh, I do like that, you know, that little feature where you can, like, grab onto a ledge, because there are many moments where I feel like I'm just falling over and I can't be saved. There we go. Got ourselves a new coin. So those sheep that we got, that we're currently collecting right now, those belong to, the name of the sheep lady. And so, with, we can go to the sheep lady and we can give her the sheep. However, there is a certain amount of sheep that we need, and in this case, we need 5. We need 5 of these sheep to be able to hand them over and get a Pizza Planet token. The perfect object. I don't even know what that's for. Oh god, this camera can sometimes be a little... it can be a little finicky. It's usually not like this. I would never had this much trouble, I could have sworn I could have, you know, gone over the edge there. Oh god, okay, so I just remembered. So we have Mr. Potato Head over here. And so he is missing a little piece of his body. More specifically, look at that face. God, he looks dead. He looks like he's got some problems, like like he lost his ear, but also his brain, like the brain part of the toy. So yeah, we're gonna get a little power pack thing. We're gonna get a little bit of a power up if we. We're gonna get a little bit of a power up if we give Mr. Potato Head the thing that he wants. And so now, I am hearing some door opening. There we go, don't worry about it. This is my brother coming back from class. And he's yelling like a pig. Don't bother me, I'm playing Toy Story 2, the video game for children and for cool teens that like to be nostalgic about games. So we got ourselves 2 sheep here. So what we need to do is that we need to go, we gotta get Mr. Potato Head's ear. I don't know where Mr. Potato Head's ear is, so I think the best thing to do is to actually... We already went to the attic, we already went to Andy's room, now we're gonna go over here to where the car is at. I didn't even know... Okay, so yeah, so... And this is Andy's mom's car. I don't know where the dad is. The dad got drunk, knocked up Andy's mom, and just left for greener pastures. He became a freaking biker. He became part of a biker gang. He's now part of a, you know, like American Chopper or something like that. He abandoned his family, or, you know, maybe it was like Sid, you know, he knew that the toys were alive, so he's like, screw this, I'm divorcing my wife for some reason. And so, yeah, he just left, never to be seen again. Although pretty safe to say that he looks very similar to how Andy looks when he goes to college. When he's older, he leaves for college, never to be seen again. Just like in Blue's Clues, where Steve had to go for college and everybody cried. Okay, there we go. Screw you, blue, non-specifically branded robot. There we go. Now we have 50 coins. We already have the notification there of the pig. I forget what the name of the pig is. Orson? No, that's from the Garfield show, isn't it? Like, there was like that Garfield cartoon that had another cartoon that was like the Orson's Farm or whatever. And I always found it really frustrating because Orson was the only smart guy there and everybody else was a fucking idiot. And then the chicken would always mislead everybody into thinking something really stupid. And so then Orson, the pig, would just be there, like, getting a headache all the time because everybody thought the stupidest shit. And so, yeah, it was a frustrating show for me because I could relate to the pig a lot. I didn't, however, relate to Garfield, that lazy piece of crap. Okay, we have 3 sheep now. There we go. I told you guys that this is not an E-rated show. The game definitely is, but I am not. So, yeah. Sometimes I do like to, you know, change my content in terms of the kind of game that I'm playing. You know, with Paper Mario, I definitely, like, censored myself a lot. Because it was an E-rated game, it was a Mario game, a lot of kids like it. But, you know, I felt like I was kind of holding myself back a little bit too much. So I'm like, you know what, I'll just say whatever I want, but I'll give that disclaimer at the beginning of like, hey, you know, this ain't for kids. If a child is watching this, well, mute it. Mute the game. Because like that, they won't hear my horrible voice with my horrible words. It'll corrupt the youth of tomorrow. Or maybe it'll enlighten them, who knows? Sometimes I like to get a little insightful with stuff that I say, you know? Because, you know, I have games that I've played like Senran Kagura or, you know, Paper Mario, or, you know, just a simple game that, you know, at face value, people will be like, oh, this is just this, or this is just that. People like to be really trite and oversimplify the concept of a game and not be, you know, not think too deeply into it. But sometimes I like to be that guy and be like, well, maybe there's like a philosophical message here. And that's where I get a little insightful and I start talking about life and then people cry. And then people say, yeah, that was smart. Or sometimes I say something incredibly stupid, like when I did that Fez video where I ranted about Game Grumps for like 20 minutes, and then everybody disliked the video, with the exception of everybody that didn't. Like, literally everybody, like, who doesn't comment on the video dislikes that video. But everybody who does write a comment, it's everybody literally just agreeing with me. Like, yeah, man, you're so right, the Game Grumps, yeah, man, they do this and they do that, you're totally right. Finally, somebody understands. That's the one that I love hearing all the time. It's like, finally, somebody speaks out and says, you know, the truth. And so I don't think that's the truth, I think it's just my opinion, but if that opinion, you know, coincides with a whole bunch of other people's opinions, then I guess I'm doing something right. And of course there are a lot of fanboys out there that, you know, if you say like one bad thing about them, then, or just anybody that has like 1 million subscribers, you say one bad thing about them, you're immediately the devil. I like one girl that commented on my video and said, oh man, you must be really fun at parties. And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? What does me being fun at parties, which by the way I am not. I'm not fun at parties. If anything, I'm like an anti-fun machine. I suck the fun out of anything. But, you know, like, what does that have anything to do with me being at a party? I guess she thinks that I just spend the majority of my life just ranting about things that don't really matter in life, or just some petty thing about, you know, some content creators that I don't like. You know, like, she thinks that I just spend the most of my life just doing that, which is completely untrue. I definitely don't do that. I definitely just keep most of that to myself, but I have an outlet where I can express myself in a certain way. That being my YouTube channel. Where the hell is freaking Mr. Potato Head's ear? I totally forgot where it was. Maybe it's over there back in Andy's room. Let's go back and see. So I've been recording this episode for around 20 minutes. I think I'm just going to keep on going until I beat this level, because it really isn't that... It's not that long. It's just, you know, my commentary and me forgetting where stuff is. That's basically the thing that's been taking up the time of this episode. Maybe I could have probably beaten this whole thing maybe like 5 minutes ago. Let's see. So I do know where the 5th sheep is. I don't know where the ear is at. Could have sworn... Oh, no, wait. I think I know where it is. I think I know where it is. It's over there in the living room, I think. Yeah. I remember. I remember. I do need to be careful though. I need to be super observant and vigilant. I need to be vigilante about this whole thing. Okay, so where are we? Somewhere around here, right? Yeah, there we go. There's the ear. Ah, crap. Poor Buzz. It's a good thing he's a toy. Although his arm doesn't really come off like in the first movie. That was such an inspiring moment. It was kind of a big burst of reality. It kind of just goes to show how amazing those Pixar movies are, you know? Because any old movie would say, yeah, don't give up, you can do anything if you set your mind to it, you know? But, you know, Toy Story has a very realistic viewpoint of, like, you know, Buzz Lightyear is like, no, I can fly, I'm a space ranger, you know, I can definitely fly. And then you have this super inspiring song about you can fly, and so Buzz Lightyear, like, so in such an inspirational move, he's like, to infinity and beyond. He's like, yes, I'm flying. No shit, I'm falling. Bah. And just falls in the stairs, loses his arm, and like the sad music comes back, and he's like, well, sometimes you just have to face reality and be like, no, you're not a spaceship. A spaceship? No, you're not a space ranger. You are a toy. You were meant, you don't have that big of a purpose in life. You really are not that special at all. And you have to face that fact. And so, yeah, it's really sad, but then making the best out of it, that's the big lesson, you know? The lesson is not, you can do whatever you want, you know, if you wish for it hard enough. The lesson there is, you know, there is a reality that you have to, you know, accept. But you can be and do great things based on you acknowledging that reality, you know? There I go, being insightful again. Of course, I try to be. I'm not gonna try and, like, stroke my own ego and be like, oh my god, I'm so smart. Which I am not smart. I'm probably one of the stupidest people you're ever gonna know. But, you know, I try to, you know, think into things a little deeper than the average person, you know? Because any old idiot is gonna be like, duh, you know, it's just toys and fun stuff happens in the end, you know? Like, yeah, people can try and oversimplify these things, and sometimes they miss out on a cool lesson or you know, like a cool, you know, thing that they didn't think about before. Oh, there we go. I didn't want to do that, but that's also beneficial because that is the 5th little sheep there that I need. It's glowing now, so that already means that I am ready to go and turn them in to the sheep lady, whose name I always forget, which I should be ashamed of myself for not knowing because it's literally Woody's girlfriend. And she's been in every single movie with the exception of the 3rd one. I don't know what happened to her in the 3rd one. I guess she just died or got sold off, or like a kid pooped on it. And so Andy's like, ew, gross, and threw it away. Yeah. Kind of a shame that she doesn't appear in the 3rd movie. And it got replaced for a bunch of other ones, like Barbie and Ken and stuff. That's such a, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like those weird pop culture jokes that make the scary, like the scary movie series, you know, like Meet the Spartans and all those, like, very bad parody movies. That's why they make them so dated, you know? Because maybe someday Barbie and Ken are not going to be relevant anymore. I mean, it's difficult to think that today, right? But, you know, maybe they won't be relevant in a few years' time, and the movie's going to be so outdated, you know, when people look at it, when they look back on that. Rather than seeing these other toys, these original toys that don't have any kind of branding or, you know, real-life history behind them. And so they're timeless. At least that's what I think. Yeah, I feel like they should have stuck to, you know, their more original creations rather than inserting, you know, stuff that already exists. Because then, like, and then they do a little bit, like, jokes that are way too wacky, you know? I like Toy Story 1 and 2 because they were a lot smarter with the jokes and a little bit more subtle with it. I mean, not too subtle, but they were at least, you know, somewhat subtle. But in Toy Story 3, it seemed like they were just going flat out like Portal 2, you know? Instead of being super subtle and discreet and smart with their jokes, they just kind of went with, you know, this sort of pie-in-the-face, like, blah, you know, that, like, they really make the humor, they really shove it in, they really, yeah, they really phone it in, you know? And it's still funny, but it's not as subtly and smartly placed as in the other movies, right? Same thing with the Portal games, you know? And that's why I make, like, the Portal 2 comparison. Because in Portal 1, it's the writing and the jokes and everything is so smartly done. But then in Portal 2, now that the game and the people making it are so self-aware of the fact that the game is humorous, they're like, Like, you know, like, oh, we're gonna make this test on you. Don't worry, you're not going to explode or be on fire, because being on fire is a funny thing, right? You know, like, just, they're so blatant and obvious with those jokes. It's so projected, you know? It's so, telegraphed that you can see it coming from a mile away, and that's what makes it worse. I mean, the best thing is when you weren't expecting it, you know? You weren't expecting, like, this stoic robot to, you know, insult you all the time. But anyway, that about does it for me. I think, yeah, there we go, 25 minutes. I think, as far as I know, I think that's, those are all of the Pizza Planet tokens that I can have. I don't know if this is a Mario 64 thing, where I can collect 100 of these coins, and then get a Pizza Planet token in exchange. I don't know if that's the case, because you already get one for getting 50 coins and talking to the pig. So, yeah, I don't know if there's another one for getting 100. I'm fairly close to getting 100, so, yeah, I don't know if I should explore a little bit more. I'll figure it out later. But, right now, there we go, to infinity and beyond. Where am I going? I'm gonna hit the ceiling. Oh, God. Okay, there we go. There's the pig looking at me with a sassy look. Like, "Ma, what are you doing here?" I have 93 coins. 93. Like the song goes. Save the game! He's so scared about asking you to save the game. Anyway, yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save, and I'm gonna stop right here. If you guys enjoyed this video, then be sure to look at Buzz's face. Hey, look at me! Save on me! Save on my face! That just sounds a little dirty. Save on my face. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, and of course subscribe to stay updated on everything that's been going on, so you never miss a single thing when a brand new video comes out. I'm the Hat Person, and I'll see you guys next time with a brand new episode of Toy Story 2. We're gonna be Buzz Lightyear, and we're gonna be in Andy's neighborhood in the next episode. And let's see what other stuff, you know, comes up in my mind that we can talk about, or, you know, what other things happen in the game that'll trigger all those thoughts. Anyway, see ya.